Thank you for tuning in to SANGAHZ the Podcast with me, Romeo Johnson, where we celebrate extraordinary singers and learn from industry veterans. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Romeo Johnson, back with SANGAHZ the Podcast. Super excited today because I have a very dear friend of mine who is like a dear friend to the whole world right now because we all love her. Extraordinary in every way. So, I mean, actress, singer, songwriter, producer, comedian, you name it. We all love her. She's like everybody's sister. Even if you never met her before, you think you have. You think you know her. And I'm talking about none other than the one and only Brely Evans. Y'all make some noise.
Hey, y'all. That's all the people.
Yep. That's it. Brely Evans.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Yes, when you were listing all those things I do, I said, geez.
You do it all. And what I love, though, is that I was blessed to kind of meet you and see this whole thing develop early through my cousin. We're going to go through all that stuff.
Yes.
First thing I want to talk about is all the roles that you play. And then we're going to go back to the beginning, the baby Brely that we don't know about. So you can let us know, how did this develop?
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize you are a singer. You're one of the singers.
Hey, I've been rocking my singer's gear for a long time. Yes, music is what introduced entertainment to me. Music is, and it happened at church. You know, I was that 3-year-old little girl elbowing my grandmama, like, I want to go up there, pointing to the choir stand. And she was like, you're too young. I want to go. And they were like, let's just let her go, because she just back here making noise. So I would go and just stand in the choir stand. And I think I was looking at the people singing and not even looking at the congregation. And they finally developed an angelic choir where I got my life. And that's where it all started. It was music for me. Like, there's something that was happening to me in that pew, listening to the choir and those lead singers, that I was like, I want to be up there.
How were you when you first got a chance to sing in the church choir?
Like I said, I was up there standing, looking around. By the time I was 4, I did my first solo. My first solo was at 4. And all I remember about that experience was being there, holding the mic, hearing my pastor reprise the song after I got finished. And I started crying in the choir stand. He's singing my song. He can't sing my song. They were like, "Oh God, like, this is not how they." I'm like, "He can't. That was my song. That's my." Like, I had, the people were up on their feet when I got done singing, and so he just, was keeping it going. But I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, "Why is he taking my song?" So that's how my thing started off. Was I was upset with the pastors trying to find me and sing.
You know, well, they standing up for me. Don't be trying to pop up there like this.
Right. Don't be trying to steal my thunder. I think when they clapped for me, I think I felt like it was a drug. I hate to say that, but it was something happened in that moment where I did something this good.
I get it.
People are like standing for me. Like, something switched in my head. And from that moment on, I think I became like, I'm a performer. I'm about to be in front of anybody who will listen, because I got on everybody's nerve who came over my parents' house to visit them, because I had can I sing a song for you? Can I do a dance for you? My mother was like, one song, one dance, because I would have a whole show prepared in the back.
Now it all makes sense why you are who you are today. It started early. And it's funny because you hear most people tell their stories and they go, "Oh, my mom would make me sing in front of people." You were like, "No, I asked."
They was trying to sit me down. They was kind of like, girl. And so how about this? My mother would drop me off at slumber parties. I remember being like, 9, 10 years old. And in the car, she would say, "This is not your party. Okay. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be the leader of the games. You do what they have set up." Yeah. "Okay, mommy. Now don't let me come pick you up." And they telling me that you was in here trying to run things.
See,
Lo and behold, get picked up. "Oh, your baby put on a talent show, honey. She had the kids doing this." My mama looking at me like,
you look at mom like,
right. What happened? And I told my mom, I try to be quiet. I try so hard to be unassuming. Well, I didn't use that language, of course, but I
Right.
tried to be loud. And then people be doing stuff, and then I'd be like, no, that ain't how it go. I just gotta help them. I just gotta
Oh, come on, Brely. I feel
and so I just have to help them, and I just end up running stuff.
now you know what's funny, and I refuse. I'm not gonna just jump into super spirituality right now, but we're gonna come back to that. We know we're
Okay,
gonna
put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
that's calling from the gate right there. That just lets you know
Just want to
God
be
had
simple.
already designed. That was the manufacturer putting things in place already. I always talk about manufacturers. I say if you go into a car manufacturer, they don't have to be finished. You can look at the framework and be like, oh, that's going to be a sports car. Or that's going to be a limousine. At
Come
the,
on.
you know what I'm saying? Okay, I ain't gonna go there yet.
That's good. I see where you're going with that. I like that.
Yeah, the God's like, look here, I know what I'm forming her to be already. So look at us today, right? What's up, guys? It's your boy Romeo Johnson. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you guys for supporting me, supporting the channel. All of you guys who have subscribed, I appreciate you so much. If this is your first time, be sure to check out the channel. Please like, subscribe, share. I am a singer, musician, celebrity voice coach, and I've been in this industry for 30 plus years. So what this channel is all about is sharing knowledge, exchanging information, entertainment, the whole nine. Within Romeo Johnson TV, you have fun videos to watch, whether it's just somebody singing, myself, or others. You have documentaries of me sharing my career experiences touring with Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, many others. And then you have a series that's called Entertainment Industry Answers. And that's where we address subjects and topics about music industry and the entertainment industry that a lot of people don't want to address. And then you also have the video versions of SANGAHZ the Podcast. So again, if this is your first time, please like, subscribe, and share. For those guys who have been supporting me the whole time and supporting the channel, God bless you. I love you. Where were you born? You look just like your mother.
Oh.
Both of you are beautiful. What did you like to do besides entertain? Were you into cheerleading or sports, anything like that?
So, growing up, I'm that kid that wanted to be a part of it, any and everything. So, yes, I was on the cheering squad in junior high and high school. I was in leadership and in choir. I didn't even really I didn't take acting. Yeah, I was in an acting class in high school because I went to performing arts high school, Skyline in Oakland, California. Um, but the music department was my favorite
Okay.
because that's what I knew I could do. I knew that, but also I graduated high school with literacy. So imagine being in choir and standing next to you is a voice like that. So you like, golly, like this girl, she just hum and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Right. So imagine that. So uh but music was my first, like it was just the thing that church told me I could do and that I was good at. So I leaned into the music of it all. But yes, I did participate in other things. I didn't do any sports or anything like that, just the cheering and then the other extracurricular activities at church. And
got
I had
you.
a girl group. I was in a girl group. My first girl group was called Pizzazz. We were 13 years old. And there were 4 girls in the group, and our parents put on a Motown night for us where we sang all Motown songs, and it was a girl group and a guys group. They sang the male songs, we sang the female songs back in the day. Then they let us pick some current songs of the time to sing. And the song I chose was Let's Wait a While. So y'all know how old I am now. So I'm singing Let's Wait a While, Janet Jackson. My mother said, "Why you like that song? Why you pick that song?" I said, "I like the song. I just like the song." But who you telling let's wait a while? Wait a while for what? I only know now, what she was talking about. But then I was looking at her like, I like the song. I don't understand. Like it was way beyond me. Because
Let's wait a while before I got to clean my room up,
there
mom.
you go. Like I just like the song. So that's so funny. And then I also picked my solo song for that show was Anita Baker's song, I Won't Be Neglected. I won't be denied the pleasure of your kisses, the pleasure of your smile. I think you take for granted. Honey, Anita Baker gave me my wings in music. Because there became a time in high school, again, singing next to these amazing singers, where I felt like, oh, my voice isn't as good as theirs because they can sing high and they sing soprano and everyone loves a soprano and I'm an alto tenor and it's not that. My mother said, excuse me, let me show you. So when she introduced me to Anita Baker, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I could be famous
Oh
and
yeah.
have these bomb songs. So I used to, for lack of having some paper around the house and not wanting to use my schoolwork paper to write songs, because my mother was like, you're going to stop using that schoolwork paper to write songs on. I would take apart, cut paper bags,
Oh
open
my.
them up, and write song lyrics on paper bags, on the inside of paper bags. And I would stop and go on my little tape recorder, stop and go. I remember doing Freddie Jackson songs that way, Stevie Wonder songs that way. I just remember sitting there hitting play, pause, play, pause, play, because I wanted to get those lyrics down. Like it was a thing for me.
Yes.
So yeah, music is my first love.
I talk about all the time how when I was coming up and developing my musical skills, I came up in a family. My mother sang very well, so I would mimic her. But I remember coming up, and I was focused on being a bass player mainly. So I would just take, and I tell people all the time, like I would take, it freaks kids out, the needle from the record and just play it over because I'm a little older. Before the pressing the buttons, I was taking the needle like, let's go with that again.
I love that we have this generational thing that's telling on us for us. Like I was taking the needle while you was pressing the button. Hilarious.
And but that's my point is that we came up learning to stick with it until you get it right.
Yeah.
Before you move on, go back, do that again, go back, do that again. And it was a focus of being a perfecting craft more so than trying to get the acknowledgement for doing what you
For the
do.
craft. Yeah.
I want to talk about when I met you. When I first, I'll never forget the day that I met you. You probably don't remember, but I remember the day that I met you was in Woodland Hills, California, at a church called In His Presence.
Really?
You were there with my cousin Micolette.
Mika.
Yep, you guys walked in, and Mika, by the way, you guys is an amazing songwriter, singer in her own right.
All the things.
All the things. So Mika was like, "This is my friend, like my sister. This is my cousin Romeo." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Nice to meet you." And it was funny because you guys had the same, spirit and the same energy. And I was like, "This is great." We were all at church, and then the next thing I know, I think we exchanged information because she was like, "You guys should know each other." And then next thing I know, I just start seeing you little by little popping up. And I was introduced to you as a songwriter and a singer. And I think she said that you guys maybe were in a group together or worked together or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, Warren Campbell put us together in a group. That's how we met.
There you go. Tell us about that.
So I moved to Los Angeles after high school because I wanted to sing. And I told my parents, well, I just want to go to college in LA, but really I was chasing the music industry.
Right.
Um, so coming to college in LA, I got a job at Larrabee Sound Studios as a
Oh, wow.
front desk girl. And the front desk girl, they were like, please don't be trying to sell your music. Please don't be in here trying to get a record deal. I was like, no, I would never do that. So, but music is in me. So I'm cleaning a table one day in the kitchen and I'm humming.
Hmm.
I don't even know what I'm humming. I don't even remember. I'm humming. And Snoop heard me. Oh, I was there during Chronic. They were
Oh,
recording the Chronic. And Snoop was like, oh, you about to be my Diana Ross. Let me find out. So he was like, I was like, okay. So I, got in contact with Snoop, and then Snoop put me with Warren G. So I started going over there recording hooks with them, with Nate Dogg. I'm over there singing hooks with them. Then another time I'm in there, a producer is there, and he's like, sing that again. And I sang it again. He was like, I'm gonna put you with another girl. Her name is Micolette, and it was Warren Campbell. Put us together and said, I'm gonna do a girl group. I'm gonna do a girl. We're gonna find a third girl, and I'm gonna do a girl group on y'all. we could never find this third girl. We just could not find a third girl. Next thing we know, Mary is born.
Wow. Okay.
And so he went with the two-girl group, but it
Right.
happened to be with who he was dating at the time, and then yep.
But let's just kind of backtrack at all the bombs she just dropped on you guys just now. With that one story, right? She just said, Snoop Dogg, and Nate Dogg, and
Warren G.
she just tearing us up with the and Warren Campbell. So I don't think we have to explain to anyone who Snoop Dogg is. We know who Snoop Dogg is. Chronic was the record that Snoop Dogg was working on with Dr. Dre, and I'm coaching his son, Truce, which let me tell you,
Is amazing.
ooh, it's about to be a problem.
I love it.
It's about this boy got some. You're not even ready for it. I don't even want to say anything before he does, but
It's in his DNA.
it's in his DNA. All right, and then you mentioned Nate Dogg, which I did a lot of tracks with Nate Dogg. That was my guy. And who else did you mention?
So Nate, Warren Campbell, and Warren G.
Yep. So Warren Campbell is a freaking producer
Genius.
extraordinary, genius, multi-talented musician, multi-instrumentalist, producer, writer, man of God, pastor, and he's also married to Erica Campbell from Mary Mary. So now you guys understand who we're talking to right now. When someone can just tell a story about a segment of their life and just
I don't, it's so weird that God has put me in these places that again, I was there working, getting $7 an hour. Okay. I had I didn't know any of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never so I have just been blessed to be in the presence of greatness always. Mika would bring me to you. Come on now. The presence of greatness always. So that's just been the story of my life and I'm so grateful that God would even allow me like how you're right. Like now you're helping me hear how amazing my life has been, actually, that I have been around the cream of the crop from day one.
the orchestration of God is so flawless, whether we know it or not. It's a lot like how we put harmonies together, or how producers put tracks together. You don't even understand why that little ding ding is important. Ding ding. You don't understand it until you hear the whole track played. It's like, ooh, that ting ting is killing me right there. Oh, the song would be the song without the ting ting. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
All these little things that God was doing in our lives that we knew nothing about, because we were so blessed in early stages that God was positioning us with kings before we knew they were kings even.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? I tell a story sometimes about how Yo-Yo introduced me to Tupac. And Tupac and I sat down and talked a couple times for 45 minutes, but he wasn't Tupac yet. He was,
Well,
well, that's the cat that raps with Digital Underground. Yeah.
well, let's not forget I'm from Oakland.
I know.
So, with that being said, I now transition from my first group I was ever in was called Pizzazz. The
Mhm.
next group I was in, I'm sorry, let me go back. The first group I was in called Studio 2, my cousin Stacy. The two
Okay.
of us with our taffeta dresses that our grandmother made for us, singing at everybody's funeral, church event or whatever. Second group was Pizzazz when we were in our 13-year-old. The
Mhm.
next group would have been Image that I was in. But when you just said that, it triggered something because I was like, you talking about Tupac. Well, when I became like more in my, 16, 17-year-old age group, I
Yeah.
was in a group called Image. And we would sing around town every Saturday, be outside making up dance moves. We were kind of doing that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But we got a record deal while we were walking down the street. Like when I say walking down the street, got this record deal. But before I tell about that, I have to back up to, so we were around the music scene in Oakland. So
Right.
Digital Underground, we knew, like we were just around because people knew we were singing and that kind of thing. So we were friends with Tupac as well. We used to go to his house on MacArthur. Okay.
Who knew? Like, who knew that he was Tupac? But who knew that he was going to grow
To
to
where he did.
have such an impact and effect on the world like that?
Yeah, so again, Tupac is yet another one that in my teen years, I'm sitting over at his house. We all kicking it. Like that was our homeboy.
All of this makes sense. Again, seeing you where you are today, that God orchestrated all of this. So when you got to where you are today, it's a comfortable place. I remember saying, "Oh, that's my cousin's friend." One day going online and thought, "What is this girl doing?" Because I never knew this side of you. And I was like, this girl is hilarious. And I'm watching this whole Brely, this character, like Braley's version of Beyonce, because I never knew that side of it. I was like, this girl is funny and talented. What?
Is my alter ego. Because she has more fire. She burns it out. She comes to the club and she more fires it. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of like Beyonce, Sasha Fierce. You know, it's kind of like Beyonce, Sasha Fierce, and then it's Beyonce, more fire. You understand what I'm saying? More fire gets her confidence from looking in the mirror, from looking in the camera. It's just what I do, you know? I was born to do this. I came out of the womb with a mirror in my hand, like, whoop. More fire and Sasha. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And I'll never forget the first time I saw it, I was like, you know what? She's going to be on TV. You're not going to put this out there and people see this without somebody saying, I want to put her on something. And I watched that over and over. And then you did another episode and I watched that over. I was like, oh, she's on something. And it was cool because you had your little intro song.
It's the Brely show. Everybody say my name. Got my own thing. Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. I was like, okay. So I saw the vision. And then I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't know if you were interested in acting. I knew that I was introduced to you as a singer songwriter. I was like, she is funny. And it's nothing better for us guys than to see a woman who's attractive and funny. Like that's the best. You see some attract. Oh my God, dudes love because we don't want chicks to just be pretty, just be this all day. Just adore me.
I'm to be looked at.
I'm to be looked at. Yeah. So when a guy, you know how women love guys to make them laugh.
Yes, we do.
We expect that.
Oh, okay.
When we go like, yo, I'm gonna make her laugh, and then boom, it comes back like, oh, she made me laugh. That's a whole nother level of, oh yeah, yeah. So I knew, I said, people are gonna love her.
Oh.
Then I remember I was touring with Queen Latifah, and we did a show in LA, and you were there. And then the next thing I knew, I saw you on the big screen with her and Common. I was like, oh, there we go. There we go. I knew it. I was like, I called it. So walk us through all of that because I know it's so much in there that I missed, but
I know it's just, I mean, I can't gloss over the fact that we were going back to being in the last girl group I was in we were called Image in Oakland. When we got the record deal, they changed our name to Image because it had more of a French flair. Drez from Black Sheep was shooting him and Long were shooting their video in Oakland. Okay. And we were walking down the street headed to Festival at the Lake. I had no idea who they were because at the time we were listening to, like rock music. We weren't even hip hop fans like that. So they were like, hey, you pretty ladies, come be in our music video. And, we were newly in college. I graduated high school at 17, so I was in college by then. And we were like, we don't want to be in your music video. Like, no, thank you. And we're in college. We ain't trying to be in no video girl.
Right.
So they were, you guys are gorgeous. You guys, please come on. And we're like, no, thanks. And they couldn't believe we were turning them down. They're like, don't you know who we are? And we said, well, who are you? They said, we're Black Sheep. We're like, and who is that? And it's like, we got a song on the radio. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. Imagine having Drez sing that to you, okay? So we were like, oh, we know that song. So now we're like, okay. But we still say no. We still say no to being in the music video.
Okay.
And one of our girlfriends says, oh, but they can sing. Tara and I were there.
Mhm.
And he said, well, sing something. So we sang whatever we had on our hearts that moment. And he said, I'm going to get y'all a record deal. And we said, yeah, okay. There's another girl in our group, but they was like, I'm getting y'all a record deal. That man, we exchanged numbers with him. We didn't do his music video. We went on to the festival. Next couple of weeks, he called us and said, I'm at Oakland Airport. Can one of y'all come pick me up? I got studio time. We're about to write some song. We were like, he came back. We couldn't believe it. We could not. He came back. We wrote some songs with him. We got in the studio while he was there. And he was like, yep, I'm going to get y'all a deal. We're like, okay. He went back to New York. He called us from New York and said, I got y'all a meeting at Mercury Records, so y'all got to get here some kind of way. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, we got you a meeting. So my boyfriend at the time, thank you, Lester, Washington.
Thank you, Lester.
Okay. I always tell him, if it wasn't for you, where would I be? He financed us and was also our bodyguard. Him and one of his friends came with us, flew us to New York, bought us outfits, mind you, we didn't have no headshots. We didn't have, we had taken pictures with one of them little box cameras and went to go get it developed and put it in a little photo album and sent it to New York. Okay. We didn't have no real headshots or anything. We didn't have a demo. We just had us. We get to New York and we go into a meeting at Mercury Records. We're looking like, oh my God, we're walking into Polygram.
Yeah.
Polygram was the mother company. Right. And we meet with Lisa Cortez. And Lisa Cortez is, now you guys know her as the producer of the movie Precious, but okay.
Right.
But back then she was a music executive. And she says, sing something. She's sitting at her desk. We're standing in her office. We sing. She said, I'm put you guys in the studio for 3 days, see what you come up with. I like the way you sound. I love the way you look. And they put us in the studio there in New York for 3 days. And on that third day, Jesus rose, and so did we, honey. We got a record deal. That's how we got our record. That's how we got a record deal.
What year was that, Brely?
Ooh, 93.
Wow.
93, because our single came out in 94, because we had to record the album then, got signed, shot a music video, 2-day music, went on tour to open up for the Backstreet Boys on their first US tour. Went on a Christmas tour with Brian McKnight to promote his Christmas tour. We just jumped, lived in New York in a penthouse on Bleecker Street. It just, my parents were like, you in college. So I left school. I said, I've never defied y'all before, but this time I'm going to have to do this, because people wait their whole lives for this type of opportunity. So that's how I became famous the first time. That's what I like to say. We were on all the video jukebox.
That's so crazy. That, people ask all the time. I talk about how a lot of times people will go, well, how do you make it? What do I do to make it? I'm like, you just got to be prepared. There's no, you can't ever predict God's journey for you. You just got to be prepared. That's all you can do.
You make it by making your art all the time, by being ready for someone to say, sing, and you sing something, by always that rehearsal we were doing when we had no clue that someone was going to be walking down the street and say, I'm going to get your record deal. Yeah. Imagine the rehearsal time we had put in already.
Going back to what we were saying earlier, just wanting to be good because you want to be good. So when I was in Chattanooga, I had no idea I would even be going to California. And in Chattanooga at the time I was coming up, it was very strongly discouraged to pursue music. It's like, get out of here. Get your job. That's crazy. Get a real job. Yeah. I wanted to go back and ask a question. Lester, is that his name? Yes, Lester, man. What's up? What's up with Lester?
Still in Oakland, California. He now has a clothing line called Just Hoggin'. And it's because he is a consummate, Harley Davidson type of guy now. And he's so innovative that he's the first person that actually put me on TV. I have to go back to that too, because when we came back from New York, I started a talent show at Jeffrey Inner Circle. That's one of our premier clubs in Oakland, California. And I started a weekend talent show there, and he saw what I was doing. And this is when your man pour into you. He said, I see what you're doing. He went down to the local television station, bought some time for me to do my show was called On Stage. Bought some time for me to do a on stage. So the winners of my local talent show over time, like I would like have these small segments, and each winner then got to come to my TV show and
That's
perform
so dope.
for the big prize. And so he put me on TV for the first time hosting my own talent show. And I'll never forget it. And it was Wash 'em Up Productions. It was his production company. And so I always remind him, like, I owe you a Rolex. It's still today, he waiting on his Rolex. He'd be like, Brely, when you gonna buy me that Rolex? We're still friends today. And I just love that he's like that entrepreneur. You know, he's the one I saw him moving in entrepreneurship, and like the way he sells his clothing line now is, you know, being a Harley guy. All his guys were wearing Harley Davidson, going out and paying all this money for these leather jackets and this and that. And he said, I'm gonna start a clothing line, you know, and Just Hoggin is what everybody in Oakland is. I don't care what motorcycle club you're in, you're wearing his Just
So the
Hoggin.
reason that I ask, because I don't want people to just think, oh, you just being nosy, one about her ex-boyfriend. No, the reason I'm asking is two reasons. Number one, you and I are a lot alike. I refuse to not mention people who bless me on my way. I just refuse. I don't care if they're famous. I don't care if nobody knows them. If you bless me and I know you played a major role, I'm going to forever acknowledge you. The fact
Forever.
that you just acknowledged him and gave him his flowers. Like, that's Will Wheaton for me. You know Will Wheaton?
Yes.
I love people like that. He was your man, but it ain't even about that. It was the spirit in him that saw what was in you and decided to move on it. He could have been trying to hold you back rather than bless you, but he went all the way. It's things like that, because as much as I love this talent that we've been given and stuff, I'm a man of God at the core.
Come on. That's first.
That's first. You know what I'm saying? So I just love when I hear people working in godly ways. And we are all blessed every day watching you, because a big part of what he did was a big contribution to that.
It's just amazing. I'm still grateful. And I am getting you your Rolex. Thank you. You will get a Rolex.
This movie with Queen Latifah in Common. How did that happen?
Beautiful story. Well, I was Queen Latifah's real estate agent, believe it or not, because Imaj was now over. One of the girls left the group. Micah left the group to go be solo. Tara and I looked at each other and said, I guess it's over. Instead of doing what Beyonce did later on, go get another girl and keep it going. We didn't know to do that. So our group was over. I came back, finished my degree. And my trainer, who happened to be good friends with Dana, said, Brely, you would be famous if people knew you were alive. And so Dana gifted me some money to get a cameraman, a friend to do my hair, a friend to buy me some outfits, style me. And I created the Brely Show, is what you were talking about on YouTube. We only did 3 segments in like 2 days of filming. And we got it edited, and that's what I put on, because they say if you just put people getting famous off YouTube, put it on YouTube. So we put it on YouTube. I like to tell people my videos did not go viral. So we put them on YouTube. About 100 people viewed it. One of the persons who viewed it was, well, I call her Dana. Y'all call her Queen Latifah. Dana was sitting in her trailer shooting a movie in New York. Her and Paula Patton were watching. Look at Brely crazy self on here. And Paula's like, your sister is so amazing. And she's like, that's not my real sister. I just call her little sis because she's just my little sis. And she's like, but everybody, y'all just brown and round. Y'all just like look so much alike. So while they're laughing at my video, the very one that you watched over and over again, Sanaa Henry walks in, who is the director of Just Right. Who y'all watching? Brely's little sister. I don't know why she don't put her on. She's like, this girl is, whatever. She's my real estate agent. She's like, Sanaa said, let's give her a role. I will never forget her for that. I will never forget Paula Patton for saying, Dana, why don't you put, because I'm just around it. I wasn't banging down Dana's door saying, help me, make me a star. No, I'm over there doing real estate, getting these real checks. Like, I was making money with them at the time. So Flavor Unit calls me and says, hey, we got a part for you. I said, oh no, I don't have no money to fly to New York. That's how how green I was. They said, we're gonna fly you and give you a hotel. Don't worry about it. I was like, oh, okay. So they send me the contract, the ticket. I get on the plane. I have one line in the beginning of the movie. I'm supposed to wear some scrubs, say one thing to Queen Latifah, and walk off.
Okay.
I was so excited. I treated that one line like I was gonna get an Oscar for it, baby. How can I say it? Oh, can I do it like this? Can I do it like that? Can I do it like this? And because I had all that rehearsal with myself with that one line, when I got to set, every time they would say back to one and do it again, I would do it differently.
Absolutely.
And they were like, okay, girl, you really just working this one line, ain't you?
I love it.
And really what it was, I was getting bored because we were doing it over and over again. I thought I was messing up. So I said, maybe they'll stop when I do it a way they like, is what I thought.
You used to producers going, try it again. Try it again.
That's what it is. That's what, oh my God, thank you. I never put that together. That was me in the studio thinking, do it over, do it better. I've never thought about that.
Gotcha, babe.
That's a moment. That's a moment for me. So Dana's like, no, don't you see them moving the camera and the lights all around us? Like, I'm like, oh, okay. So, but because of my freeness and creativity, Sanaa was like, I like her. I like her energy. She ain't afraid to get in there with Dana like she in there, Queen Latifah. Next thing I know, they knocking on my trailer door. You're gonna be Sabrina Giller. I had a first and a last name. You will be here for the rest of the movie. They wrote me every time you see me past that first line in that movie was written for me while I was there in New York. I was supposed to be there one day, one line, leave. I was coworker one. I left there with a first and a last name in the rest of the movie. That's why sometime in the movie, they're like, friends would ask when the movie ends and she ends up going to his game as his girl, why aren't you there? Because you were the friend, like to say you wanted to go to the game and sit courtside. And I said, the reason why I'm not there is because they shot that before I got
figured they shot the end first. Yeah,
they shot the end first. And that was already shot by the time I got there. But honey, where they could put me in, I am in that movie. And the blessing is on the part where I start singing in the movie.
You already know.
Again, a newbie. We done did it 15 times and I'm bored. So I was saying the line. And on that 15th time, I just said, because all I need is courtside tickets. Hey, coming my way. And they said,
what?
Okay. What was that? I didn't know that was going to make the movie. So, but what I just told the universe and everybody going to watch the movie, oh, this girl act and she can sing too, because she let us know real quick. I just sang the line. Like, why did I do that? Because I was free. And that's what I want. Come on. That's what I want singers to know. Stay free. Get free. Get free, y'all. The freedom will open doors. Boy. And I feel like I'm in a place where in my music, I want to become free again. I think I've gotten free in acting and I kind of closed myself off in the music.
I get it.
So yeah, interesting.
Man, we could do a freaking 4-hour session with you. It's so much to talk about. That was your first movie, right?
Yes.
So how did we get from that to all these amazing movies and television projects? How did that happen? Obviously, God's hand was all over you. But your natural personality is like watching a movie all the time. Like, you came here to Vegas and hung out with me for a while, and the whole time I'm like, man, I feel like I'm watching a movie. You had me laughing the whole time.
I promise you, I say that about my own life. Like, I live inside of a movie. Like, the things that happen in my life is like unreal. And so I guess how it happened is after that, Shakim, who is Dana's business partner manager, was like, I like how you handled yourself on that first set. Come and be a part of our other movie. They flew me down to Florida, I think we were in, and we shot Cookout 2. Cookout 2. And mind you, I went there with no lines.
Dang.
They just put me there. So you're gonna be you are a cheerleader, and all you done fired all the other cheerleaders, and because you taking over. And that's all they told me. They didn't give me a name, nothing. They said, so what's your name going to be? I said, Nene LaFunk. They said, okay. So, honey, where'd that come from? I don't know.
Name
My name, Nene LaFunk, and I done fired them other cheerleaders, and I'm about to do the halftime show by myself. And I told the wardrobe people and the hair people, give me 2 ponytails. I don't want pom-poms. I want 2 ponytails as my pom-poms.
Come on.
They gave me everything I asked for, and I went and did my cheer with my ponytails.
Now,
And if you watch,
I have not seen this, but I'm gonna go back and I got to see this now. And the trip is, I sang on the soundtrack of Cookout, the first Cookout.
what?
Yeah, if you watch the first Cookout, right, it's a scene where Eve and the basketball player guy was starting to make out under the little gazebo thing, and you hear over and over again, I try to tell myself that we could never be more than friends. Although while inside I knew it was real.
That's ass just doing this.
I'm listening to your story. Our past have been doing this whole time, and we have very similar approaches to this thing. Very similar approaches, but again, we got the same manufacturer, so it makes sense. When Being Mary Jane came out, you had like a viewing party at your house in LA. That was great. I was super proud of you. I don't want to miss this because it's my favorite joint right now. It's got me completely addicted. Family Business. I hate to skip all the way up to here, but
I know. So 100 shows later.
and we can go back, but I want to make sure I do not miss my segment on Family Business.
Family Business. Well, thank you so much, because Family Business people, yes, season 5 is coming. I just finished 2 weeks ago shooting season 5, so it is coming. And tonight is our rap party. Hey. So that was a phone call, not an audition. What a blessing. Carl Weber asked his fan base on Facebook, who is curvy? And if you've read my books, you know what I think about curvy women. He loves curvy women. Who should play Sonia? He said, my name, Brely Evans, Brely Evans, Brely Evans, was just on his scroll.
No.
And he said, my fans cast you, not me. I didn't even think people would know me like that. But they chose me to represent that curvy woman in Carl Weber's books. And now I'm on the cover of some of his books. Yeah.
Listen, girl. But it all makes sense. Every step of the way, no matter what you've done, no matter what you're working on, no matter how many things are added to your credentials, you are forever, just like myself, forever acknowledging God first, giving him praise, and it can't stop. It can't stop. I was doing a television show and God told me while I was leaving the set, the reason that I give you these platforms is because every time the light shines on you, I know you're going to deflect it on me.
Come on, God.
And after I finished breaking down, I was like, that's just what I do. And it gave me a boldness. Sometimes the people misread, but there's a boldness that I have that I'm like, listen, no matter who you are, what you do, anything that you present to me, if I feel like it's not pleasing to God for me, I'm gonna have to pass. Yes. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have to pass, right? Because God has blessed me to be in the highest ranks. You know, people are like, you the only singer that ever toured with Michael and Janet Jackson, only one on the planet.
Come on.
You know, you worked on The Voice. No, I didn't just work on The Voice. I was there from the beginning. But all of these things were things God gave me. I didn't go after them. So when I watch you, I see how your talent, your personality, but your determination to always show God in everything that you do. God's like, oh, I'm on that. That's my billboard. Where's my billboard? Why would I not put my billboard up? So I love watching you be a billboard. When you're driving down the freeway, whether the billboard is a car or whether it's a big juicy burger or whatever it is, they make that billboard as beautiful as they can make it. You know, you see ooh, that burger looks good. Or, oh my God, what kind of car is that? And as soon as you're like, oh my God, I can't take my eye off that burger. And it says exit 56, turn right. Right? So as beautiful as you are, as well as I teach, as talented as you are, as well as I sing, whatever, when they say exit 56, we're saying, and I'm like, it'll never stop.
Thank you, Lord. That's I needed to hear that right now too. Like, yeah, I just needed to hear that. I love what I do. My whole journey is about getting people to understand that you were born with a gift and you can quit your 9 to 5 right now and operate in what God has put in you and survive bigger than you have been with that 9 to 5. I created a nonprofit called From 9 to 5 to Wow. And we are determined and shall help push dreams of 24 people in the year of 2024. Um, from 9 to 5 to Wow, we have an Instagram page, and we are collecting applications now for the people who will be helped and financed this year. But 24 people and I said, God, that's a big number. I said, I know it's year 24 and all, but why I got 24 people? That's 2 people a month at least. Like, oh my God. It is just January, and God has already established us with donations of people giving to the cause. Right now, my sister Tabitha
Love
Brown,
her.
you've heard it first, is one of the first to cut the
Love
check
her.
to make sure that these 24 people. We need the people, not we need the people and more money. But my sister has financed to 2024 for us to move forward. She said, "I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. I like where you're going with this. Let's go." What? Like I just cried. I just looked at her, and my tears just began to fall. And I kept saying, "I don't know if I'm thanking her enough, God. Does she know that I'm thanking her enough?" But I have to be very careful with my thinking of people because God knows me. I'll bow down to the source, right? But I know that God is blessing me through her, right? So I'm so grateful. Like people need to know that we 9 to 5 to Wow is out there. We are yet ready to bless 24 people who really like our application process is extensive because we want people to literally know that they don't have to go back to their 9 to 5 job because they are talented in whatever way. It could be cleaning house. It don't have to be a singer or an actor or anything. You can say, I clean house so good and I believe I should have a cleaning company. Okay, let's go. Or you could have already started the business and you need a financial push, or you need some mentorship, or you just need some help because you don't know what you're doing. We're here for you. So
That's amazing, Brady. I'm going to put all the information on the screen too by the time this airs, so if people know how to contact you in every way and follow you, which everybody follows you anyway. But we're going to just make sure because the world loves you, man.
oh
Loves you. All right, so I want to go back real quick to family business because that's my favorite. But let me tell you one of the reasons why I have multiple friends on the cast. Like,
who
oh
else?
my gosh! Well, of course, Sean Ringo, because he was on the tour with Queen Latifah with me. He was a security bodyguard. Remember? I think he was there the day that you were in LA. I'm pretty sure. And he used to work as part of the security with Dana's dad and Keith.
Y'all know I'm calling him right after this interview.
You didn't realize that? That's
No,
crazy. Yeah. He did all the tour with us. All the tours. We did a few.
I am excited. I cannot. We have never made. I cannot wait to call him.
Absolutely. And then Darren Henson, of course, I've been knowing Darren for years, way back when I was touring with Janet Jackson and he was dancing with like Montel Jordan or somebody before. That's what I'm saying. When I see all the
Oh,
things that Darren has done and you have done, and man, and Sean, man, it's crazy. It's beautiful to me. So I had to talk about you because you're amazing, and I knew that a lot of people didn't realize what a great singer you are. But because this is SANGAHZ the Podcast, I want to ask you some questions. You've answered one. Anita Baker was a big influence. Anita was that one that kind of brought a whole different swag and flair to female singers. So who else influenced you as a singer, or who else did you really like growing up?
I really like I am in love with old school music. My father would play, the Whispers and the OJs and all of those type groups. So just music in general, like none that I just honed in on other than like I said, the Anita Bakers and the Phyllis Hymans and the lower register
Yeah.
ladies that I honed in on. But other than that, just music as a whole, Marvin Gaye, like I could sit and just listen to a whole album. Like when's the last time, you sat and just listened to a whole record of somebody, what I'm saying? Wonder what they was going through, what I'm saying? So I'm really attached to old school music in that way.
You mentioned Marvin Gaye, and I have to say this is funny. I think I mentioned to you earlier that I'm actually releasing a song, which I've never really done. Just recently, there's a song that I've always loved, and I was like, I want to just redo it because I love the vocals, I love the harmonies in it, and it's sexy and it's mature and it's romantic, and that's my whole get up, right? So the song is by Marvin Gaye. Though that's why I was like, when you mentioned Marvin Gaye a second ago,
Like we can't make this stuff
yeah,
up.
you dig what I'm saying? So you didn't even know that. And it's not a very popular song, but if you're a fan of his, you'll know it. It's called Till Tomorrow. Look it up if you get a chance, because I want
All the stuff.
to hear him before mine drop. I will be dropping it before Valentine's Day. And I know we both got some Valentine's Day plans. If you want to mention any of that.
Yeah, sure. So in raising money for the nonprofit from 9 to 5 to Wow, I am offering myself up for a date. The date is going to happen in Atlanta on February 10th. And whoever is the lucky gentleman or woman, because a woman did win last year,
Okay.
they will have an all expense paid date with me on February 10th. And it is, you just bid. You bid and you support the nonprofit, and the highest bid gets the date. But this year, a couple of my friends, Cam, who is a comedian, entrepreneur, gentleman, handsome man, he has offered his self to also be dated. And also Christina Johnson, as you guys know, the ex-wife of CeeLo Green, she has offered herself as a date as well for to raise money. So please make your bids. Go to my Instagram at Brely Evans. I put it there on the screen, and you can click the link in my bio to donate. And all donations are tax deductible. You will be getting a receipt for this is a 501c3 straight up situation. So you will get a receipt. So it's a write-off for your taxes. And this is the time we just raise money so that we can ignite some dreams. 24 dreams in 2024.
So you guys see, you're dealing with a real businesswoman here. She ain't playing around. This is no half this kind of stuff. You dig? But fellas, did you just hear that? Brothers, how many of you guys? Come on, can I just be real? Excuse us.
All expenses
Excuse us.
paid.
I'm gonna talk to my brothers for a minute. Brothers, huh? Huh? How many of you brothers have sat and looked like, ooh, here's your shot. You sat there, you sat here rubbing your hands and ooh, biting your knuckles and going on. Hey, it's your shot, baby. It's your shot. Better shoot your shot.
And you can be anywhere. Just make sure you fly to Atlanta February 10th.
You think it ain't worth it? And then wait, and then Christina Johnson too. We got some fine sisters right here, bro. Y'all better put your bids in. You better put your bids. I'm not familiar with the brother.
Yeah.
Me personally, I ain't really interested in none. But sisters, I'm sure if she says he's handsome, he's handsome. Do you think? But for me, I'm gonna talk to the brother about Brely and Christina. Y'all better put your bid in.
Come on. Come have some fun. Come have some fun with us. Let us take
Here's
you
the
out.
thing, on a serious tip, in addition to being able to hang out with beautiful sisters, you're gonna learn stuff, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna grow, you're gonna be blessed. So put your bid in on the serious. All right.
Thank
Oh,
you.
for sure. You know what? In the list of things that I listed, I didn't list author. You're an author as well. Yep.
Yes,
Yep. So
I am an author.
she is. I am is, and look at that. Look at her logo. Come on, guys.
That's me. That's actually a picture of me.
I know. I remember the picture. It was a black dress with like a white. Come on, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
You're like, I'm true to this. I know. You are very well aware of what it is. But yeah, so my book is called The ABCs of I Am.
Mhm.
And it's a book that God completely downloaded. It was a heavenly download because I never considered myself an author or anything like that because English was not my strong suit. But God said, you need to write this book. And so it's a book of affirmations. However, for every affirmation, the scripture that that affirmation comes
I love it.
from is right
Now,
with it. So you are standing on the word. You are literally not just saying, I am beautiful.
yeah,
Why do you say that? Because I realize the word says that I am wonderfully and beautifully
come on.
made. Okay. Every I am for there's 5 words per letter in the
Mhm.
alphabet. That's why it's the ABCs of I ams. And there's a space for you to journal in that book to add your thoughts or more heavenly downloads that God has given you on that particular affirmation, or for you to record what God has done for you in that particular affirmation. So I was getting on myself, and this is a real human
Mhm.
moment. Well, I put the book out 2 years ago and it's 2 years old now. No one wants to hear about the book. I need a new book. I need a new book. And I heard my spirit say, God said to me, honey, you wrote that book based off the Bible. It's still the number 1 selling book in the world ever. That is the Bible repurposed. It never gets old. Like, you start to look around and see everybody with their new projects and you still talking about the same thing. You thinking, well, I need something new. No,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
it's not about something new all the time. And somebody that's looking at this needs to hear that. It's not about the new song. It's about the song that's in your computer that you've been sitting on for 5
Yeah, and
years.
here's the thing: it's new to the people that is new to.
Hello.
You dig what I'm saying? So I don't care if you released it 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Who picks it up today? It's new, and it's the time that they need it. That's the thing. It's all in God's orchestration. Before I go into this last topic that I want to go to, is there anything in particular that you want to say or want to talk about?
I just want to talk about how amazing you are and how many lives you've touched and how you give people you help them hone their gifts. And I want you just to know how special that is, because a lot of people that would come to 9 to 5 to wow are coming because they don't know what their gift
Right.
is. And then to have God set up people like you in our lives to help us shape the gift and get it ready for the masses and get confidence behind the gift, like, it's such a special job you have. And I don't know if many people tell you about that, but you are a worksman of the manufacturer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You taking the manufacturer's work. It's like, so remember you was talking about how the framework of the car and you could tell this gonna be a Lamborghini, right? Well, somebody gotta come and put that candy paint on it. Somebody gotta come and teach you how to drive that
Come on.
thing. And that's what you're doing. And I just think that it's such a wonderful gift for you to be so talented, not even desire to be out front, but desire to push forward other people's gifts and show them how to drive their Lamborghinis. Like, man, like, I just think that you're amazing for that. And thank you for this platform and for having me. And I jumped. I think I was ready to get on the plane and come be in the SANGAHZ studio with you. Don't play
Sure,
with
I
me. You call. I said the answer is yes. So you have my yes. Know that. So yeah. So that's the only thing I really want to
thank
say.
you so much. I really appreciate it. I really do. It's always been a genuine love and passion to share what I learned. And I didn't realize that I've always been like that until I became more successful and my friends from home would tell me, dude, you've been teaching all, don't you remember when you taught us in 8th grade? You were the one that taught us how to do da 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 da. Remember when you taught me? I'm like, really? So it's just been a desire that came from, I'm sure, I'm the male version of my mother all over again. So my mom was like that. She was always trying to bless people and share knowledge and stuff. Right now, the enemy is so bold in the world, but in this music industry, I don't judge nobody. Do your thing. I have a way that I have to live to make me feel good based on my relationship with God. As a woman of God and one who does keep God first, what is your advice to people who are in this industry and who are pursuing this industry? How would you advise, especially women?
So, as a woman of God, in a dark industry, be it singing, acting, anything, entertainment, I would tell those who are in it and those who are coming into it, it's all about knowing bef- who you are without the gift before you use the gift,
Come on.
if that makes sense. Um, and I have to put this in an acting perspective because it just makes so much sense. Actors, we act out roles, right? We put on these characters and we live their lives for this moment. We say their words. Those are not Braley's words. Those are Sonya's words on Family
Right.
Business. But it's very important for Brely to know who Brely
Right.
is before she puts on Sonya.
Right.
Because if I could put on Sonya and not know how to take Sonya off, okay? So that's why I can play a murderer, an adulteress, all the things, but I know how to take it off. So I think knowing yourself first, being aligned with your creator first is so important because you step into these rooms, you see things, you're around things, you hear things, you have to respond to some things.
Mm.
You have to have on your full armor the entire time. So the people who are affected are those who got too lazy to put the armor on. So you have to be careful on how you move. You literally have to know yourself first and be so convinced about the who you are and not what you do,
Yes.
that really what you do, you could give it all up in a moment's
Come
notice.
on. Come on.
You got to say, I don't care. You can have
Yeah.
it. No problem.
Just remember that God is your provider. No matter what it comes.
No, man. What did I just say about Tabitha? I'm like, my sister, has given to my nonprofit in such a great way. Thank you, Jesus. But I know that is God using her to bless me, because there was a time where I would just say, Queen Latifah, oh, she put me on. Oh, no, it is God using these people, and He will use people along the way to bless us.
100%.
So know where your
Know
blessings
where
come
you
from.
the beautiful part of that is those happen to be good people blessing you through God.
Yes.
You got to be careful when people who aren't good people try to present blessings to you.
And let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
The devil blesses too. The enemy blesses
Come on.
too. It come wrapped in a nice, pretty, shiny
Mm-hmm.
bow. But you have to know what's behind the thing. You have to stay connected to your source so that you can hear, go right, go left, yes, no, say yes. But until you stay connected to your source to get your instructions, because that manufacturer most certainly didn't just put us here on earth without an instruction book.
That's exactly right. Now, you were talking about the acting aspect, how you can put on Sonya and take Sonya off. We do have to understand too, with actors and actresses and things like that. If you play a role of an evil role, even if the message of the movie is a positive message, but the evil needs to be shown. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to play the role of the devil sometimes in a godly movie so we can see, oh, that is how evil works. When I was raising my two sons, their mother, my ex-wife, she would, a lot of times things would come and she was like, they don't need to see that. They don't need to see that. They don't need to see that. And as they started to get older, I'm like, yeah, they do need to see some things. They need to see these things from us with explanation. Because if we try to hide everything from them, then when they see it out in the world, they're going to be intrigued by it. Man, it's so great talking to someone who's a godly person in this business. That's my family. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People don't even know how far we go back and how cool we are. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we can do this again sometime because there's just so much more we can talk about. Oh my God, we didn't talk about Sparkle. You did
Oh,
so much stuff.
incredible. When people count it up, I'd be like, oh, really? Like, I feel like I haven't done
You've
enough.
done so much great.
I feel like I haven't done enough. And I want to, be,
You're forever working.
I am.
And it's a beautiful thing to see that smile and those dimples showing and knowing this is God doing this thing. I love you to life. I'm going to make sure that everything you talked about is shared.
Thank you.
Follow and support and keep Braley in prayer because she's doing nothing but blessing us. I love you, baby girl.
I love you too. It is my to have been here and go down memory lane with you. And I am pleased to be a singer as well. And I just love you, friend. And however I can ever help you do anything, just, I'm a phone call away. And my answer is always going to be yes. And thank you, everybody, for watching this segment of SANGAHZ because, honey, get with the man, okay? Let him sharpen your gift, okay? Let him show you how to drive your Lamborghini, okay? So you can go on and get you one. So follow me on all social media platforms. My it's right there, right there. My handle is just my name, Brely Evans, on all platforms. And I just love y'all and God bless y'all. And I'm looking forward to working with some of y'all that watch this.
Hey, now. All right, guys, put your bid in for your date.
We're igniting 24 dreams in 2024 with our nonprofit called From 9 to 5 to Wow. Go to my Instagram. You can get the page in my profile. You can also click the link in my bio there on Instagram so that you can give and donate or bid, whatever it is, so you can be the highest one and enjoy a date with me on February 10th, 2024.
All right, baby girl. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you more.